You nearly fell asleep during this one once again, didn't you?
Look, you've already started one of the previous episodes with this. You
I
can't do
know.
it again.
But it just keeps happening.
You're repeating a cold open. It's not funny anymore.
But it just keeps happening. Is there going to be one Godzilla movie you're not going to fall asleep in?
Yes. When it isn't 15 minutes of literally senseless fighting.
That's kaiju flicks, though.
No. Have you... We saw...
Half Human? That kept your attention?
No.
You actually you had to watch Half Human in
dude.
lots because you fell asleep.
No, different track. We saw The Suicide Squad recently.
Yeah.
Which specifically mentions in the trailer that the big enemy is a giant kaiju.
The giant Starro, the giant alien starfish.
I didn't fall asleep in that. I was not tired at all. The fighting was not senseless. There was direction behind it.
Just saying Suicide Squad's up here and the Godzilla franchise is down here?
Hey, all I'm saying is this movie of Varan had scenes where it literally showed fighter jets, the same shot of a fighter jet, flying down and attacking Varan 4 times over.
It is so funny because I think they thought okay, we'll show the fighter jet flying fast from this side of the screen to this side. It will appear and then disappear on the other side, and we'll just
Keep
loop
the momentum going.
so it looks like it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, but it's just a looped.
It feels like that for the fight scenes. I feel like every time I opened my eyes, it was just like 3 shots repeating over and over and over. How many tank shots do I need to be entertained?
They had real tanks in this one though. That's pretty cool.
Did they use the same tank 50 times over?
Yeah, they might have, but it looked cool. Hey everyone, we're back, first off.
We were somewhere.
We're back, this is a new episode. It's been a fortnight.
Yeah.
Good to have you all listening.
It's been but a fortnight. I'm
Doesn't
going to
work.
keep repeating it.
It doesn't work. It was a bad joke to begin with, let's be honest. But we are back as an episode, fortnightly episodes.
Well, hey.
But then we're also back in person.
Yay.
Lockdown is over. Well, at least for our part of the country.
Did we even mention a lockdown in the past few episodes?
I think we did in the last one when we were recording online. We did it with Final Draft, did the Mysterians.
Yeah. Before that was
Rodan, which we were
together for that.
Yeah, so it was kind of like the little...
For you guys, it's been 4 weeks since we were here.
We were pretty much in lockdown for 3 or 4 weeks anyway, but we're back.
Hey.
Yeah, this is the first time we've recorded in person for a little bit, because we do record these in advance. But how have you been? Did you get up to anything cool in lockdown?
Oh gosh, I've just been keeping myself busy with a bunch of schoolwork study.
Yeah.
Not regular school, uni study. It's been iffy. I've been streaming a lot.
Yeah.
On Twitch. I've been making myself a name over there. It's been real fun.
Yeah,
You've started too.
I dabbled a bit in Twitch streaming during lockdown. A good time to try to get it all up and
Actually,
running.
good segue for that.
Yeah.
I originally started a Discord server.
Yeah.
For my Twitch stream.
And we had one as well, started for Godzilla.
We ended up building quite a big community around my streams.
Yeah.
The Podzilla Discord had such a huge crowd of people coming in.
So many of you, faithful listeners, jumped on. Every time we mentioned the Discord, you were like, yes, and we just couldn't stop people signing up for the Discord.
You couldn't stop the one person that came in.
Thanks, Waffles. Appreciate you, man.
You're a legend. No, but we've actually decided, not just for our Twitch streams, me and Jasha have both kind of combined efforts to turn my Discord into one for both of us and our respective projects
or creative endeavors.
Yeah.
So you can, jump into the Discord. Links in the description. You can see when Mike is streaming. You can see when I'm streaming. There's a whole lot of Podzilla stuff going on there as well.
Yeah, we've kind of migrated the Podzilla news and updates and whatever over to there.
Yeah.
Which seems a bit more befitting because there's a lot of fans hanging out in there that didn't even really know that there was a Discord.
Yeah.
It's real fun. It's a real fun place.
No, really good. Sign up to it.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can have more than one.
The Drake Bros Discord.
The Drake Bros. There we go. But yeah, we've been both doing a bit of that. Just before lockdown, I downloaded a Flash game.
Yeah.
It was called Godzilla Kaiju
Oh,
battle.
right. I forgot about this.
Yeah, it was like someone made it. Just a Godzilla fan made this Flash game, and I think he drew pretty much every single Godzilla monster in all of the movies, even some of the adjacent ones like we've been covering.
Yeah, Jasha literally came around to my house one day after church, I think. And you literally hassled me in my bedroom to download this Flash game.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on it? What was it called? It was called like
Godzilla Kaiju Battle or something like that.
And not like Dai Kaiju.
No, like we talked about it before. There's Dai Kaiju,
which is like the multiple kaiju.
I've already forgotten the other one, Kaijin maybe.
Yeah, that was one.
But Dai Kaiju, big monster kaiju. And we'll chuck it in the Discord. So it's a little tease. You might need to jump in to find that game. But I played a little bit. I thought it was pretty fun. Me and my kid grew up playing a whole lot of those side-scroller, free-to-play, like, freeware games.
Oh, we used to go around to like our grandma's place and load a bunch onto her computer there.
Yeah, so I played it good.
Days.
I did well against the AI. I was confident. I forced you to download it. And
you beat me once out of like 11 different battles.
Yeah, well, it was...
And wait, how did you beat me? By like spamming one attack?
I found Manda, who is like a sea serpent that's going to be coming up in one of the movies we cover, but he can like freeze opponents apparently.
You're good at Street Fighter and all those types of games,
and
you won once by spamming attacks. That blows my mind.
Just gonna. I just forget I brought it up. So Varan. It's the latest movie we've watched. Varan was released 1958 and directed by Ishiro Honda.
Woohoo! The main man back again.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about Varan at all going into this.
You didn't?
From the name Varan, I think I thought it was like, I don't know, maybe a sci-fi-ish monster.
Because it just came off the back of the Mysterians' first foray into sci-fi for Toho.
And the start of this movie opens up with, oh my gosh, we might get into this a bit later.
Yeah.
A shot of like a spaceship going up into space.
Yeah.
So I'm like prepared for this sci-fi monster.
It's talking about, hey, humankind is going up to the stars. There's many adventures to be had up there.
On the verge of futuristic advancements in the world.
Yeah, but there's stories to be told down here as well. This is a very strange story based here in our very own planet, or something like that. And it's like,
it's a weird transition.
Why did they even show us the rockets? But yeah, it's funny.
It feels like something that like a real creative writer would have been like, yeah, I'm proud of this. Is my the most creative intro to any movie ever.
Epic opening. We're going to subvert their expectations coming off the back of Mysterians. Oh man, I'm surprised you didn't though, because we'll get into it when we cover this movie later on down the track. But there's a Godzilla movie called Destroy All Monsters,
which is kind of like I think I've said it before, but like the Avengers crossover of all these
monsters just a whole lot of these ones have set up. So like Rodan, Godzilla. We've got Mothra coming up, even Varan. They all pop up in this movie, and we watched it growing up. We'll talk about it.
I don't think I did.
We'll go into it more when we actually do an episode on it. But we went out and stayed in a tent with our dad, like in our backyard.
Oh, I remember this night. Yeah.
And we brought Destroy All Monsters, watched it on a laptop in the tent when it was pouring down with rain.
We didn't finish it though.
And I think we were both very young. I think there's like aliens or someone commits suicide or something in it. Mm-hmm. And it was just pretty dark at the time for how old we were.
I don't think we recognized it though. We were like fine with it.
Yeah, we were just like, oh, it's just a Godzilla movie. And it was just like, I think it was like a thunderstorm. So we ended up not watching it. I think we went back inside.
I think what happened is our dad realized there was some mature themes in it.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey kids, it's raining pretty heavily outside.
Oh, we just need to stop this. Sorry, guys. It's
raining too hard for us to watch this tonight. Let's go back
camp
inside.
Tonight.
God, but that was like an unlock. You just unlocked a memory for me.
Yeah, there we go. But Varan is in that. This is his only two appearances, Varan and Destroy All Monsters. So this is setting up, not really setting up that, but he was here first.
Yeah,
it's a self-titled movie.
There are so many monsters I didn't even know existed in this universe.
I know. Ties into things a bit more than the snowman half human does, though. I'll say, which is good.
It's good getting into these movies where you know they're going to be a bit more proactive with introducing them into the wider world down the road.
Yeah.
Which is real nice.
Did you want to let us know what happened?
Yeah.
Kind of recount the...
Gosh, Alex's kind of recount last time. I can't beat it. I feel like he just instantly did so much better than me with my recount. I'm going to try off the cuff like he did.
Oh, okay. Could live up to Alex. Here we go.
So you start off with Dr. Sugimoto, played by Korea Senda.
Yeah.
As like the head of a university, it feels like. Some of his students find this butterfly species from a remote place in Japan that apparently doesn't exist anymore. He's like, yo guys, these butterfly are crazy. We don't see them anywhere else. Go investigate them and try to find if there's anything else crazy in that area. Sends some of his students out. They die from mysterious circumstances. But there is a tribe around that place, which kind of pray to a god that they call...
Baradagi.
The Baradagi god, that's it.
Yeah.
It's like this crazy tribe living out there who's so afraid of this giant monster there and kind of blames the death of those students on him because they shouldn't have entered their land.
And they're all wearing like crazy masks of this some kind of weird creature.
I did like it, the tribal people in it, and it's very different from the tribe and Half Human that we saw.
Yeah.
This actually feels like a really different take on it and executed a bit better.
Like they're actually trying to show us a remote tribe, perhaps verging on cultists just a little bit with their praying and their worship of this god. Or not really worshipping him, but just being in awe and trying to keep him at bay and appease his anger.
That's a good word for it, yeah.
But it did seem a bit more... done a lot better than it was in Half Human.
Yeah, for sure. Dr. Sugimoto, after hearing the death of these two students, ends up sending out some other people to investigate the area, including Kenji Uozaki, who was a doctor working at the university, I think, or alongside him, played by Kozo Nomura. He also sends, in the little game, there's Kenji. There's Yuriko Shinjo, played by Ayumi Sonoda, who's the sister of one of the students who originally went out and got killed. And there's Motohiko Horiguchi, played by Fumindo Matsuo, who's kind of just along for the ride, comedic relief photographer?
Yeah, he's a comedic relief for this one. But I loved it. It was kind of this trio that gets pushed out. We've come to know them with the movies we've watched so far. We've got our leading man kind of up for anything. He's going to run and try and save people that need saving.
Really doesn't have any comedic lines. It's just there to be the head of the project.
He's just the hero. You've got Yuriko, who's kind of alongside our leading man, but is a bit smarter at times, I feel, than he is. And then we got our comedy relief.
Horiguchi.
But I kind of liked it.
I did. They gave the main three people in this a bit more liberty with like the lines they have, a bit more chance to shine in their speaking roles, which still isn't much, sadly.
Yeah.
There are very few times where we actually get to see them in their element or showing a lot more of their character.
Well, I think I said it like when we started off, maybe even after we watched the first Godzilla movie, but a lot of people, one of the main dislikes fans have for the series is the human characters.
I can definitely see that.
And I think when we first started, I was like, nah, I love the human characters in the first one. Serizawa's the man, Yamane's the man.
I think it might have helped that Yamane was like in a few movies afterwards as well.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool, and I felt something for these characters. I think Godzilla raids again, even though the monsters weren't great in it, the fights weren't great. Godzilla versus Anguirus, the human characters still were.
Yep, they still were.
We had our two besties that worked at the fish cannery.
They were great.
But everything since then has been a little bit lacking.
A bit tropey almost. How it's like, the monsters are here, have these huge battles. Let's just throw in some humans to keep the story flowing.
Yeah.
But they haven't been memorable.
We have our hero, we have a leading lady, we have like a scientist. Then the army comes in.
Yeah.
And we don't spend time with these characters.
It ends up being real focused on the kaiju and kind of the army, which happens in this movie as well. Anyway, these three characters end up going to the spot that these other students died at. They find the tribe there. The tribe's like, no, the Baradaki's going to kill you if you try and investigate more. They continue going and they find the monster Varan.
Yeah.
Which we finally get a look at him. I thought he was going to end up being this like, the tribe, it showed a cut of this. I don't know what's the best way to describe it. Near the start of the movie, there's this statue of what looks like an almost Japanese-inspired... You see a lot of Japanese masks with like almost the... there's a monster called the Oni.
Yeah.
In Japanese lore, I think it is.
Yeah.
Monster who like... I've brought him in a D&D campaign. It's very fun. Who
kind of like an evil spirit that
An
wears a
evil
lot of these masks that are like a bit toothy and have a bit of fur.
Yeah, who kind of used as bedtime stories to keep children from doing naughty things.
Yeah.
I thought that's what Varan was going to be, but it ended up being this lizard-like.
Yeah.
It's almost we said it was a combination of Godzilla, Rodan, with a bit of lizard in there.
Bit of even like Anguirus with a spiky like back plate.
Yeah.
But I have a little bit about the Varan design here. So apparently coming off of Godzilla and Rodan, the team at Toho thought that the next monster should have traits of both of them. Should be some sort of lizard water monster and also be a flying monster. They thought, we've already done these, why don't we do something bigger, better?
Bigger, better. Literally just mash the two up.
Pretty much. So he was initially conceived as a Godzilla and Kappa hybrid.
Oh, I've heard of the Kappa
So I think
before.
Kappa's like a big, massive turtle, right?
I don't know if it's massive, but it's definitely in the like a legend in Japan.
Yeah.
Kind of the folklore.
It is turtle-like, or has a like turtle beak.
Yeah, it's definitely turtle-like. It's
Yeah.
got a beak, almost like a baldish head.
Yeah.
I forget the lore of it. It's something crazy like steals children or souls
Oh,
or
really?
something. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I won't fact check that. You guys can look it up for yourself.
Yeah, I need to check it after this. But Godzilla, Kappa, and then they also just throw in the membranes of a gliding lizard.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it is a unique design. Did you like it?
I more so don't like the fact that it just feels like a mashup of the other two.
Yeah,
But I can appreciate it for what it is.
I did like the spike design. He has just like a row of spikes all the way from his head to the end of his tail that look different to Godzilla's. They're more like needles, and they're kind of see-through-y, or just they look a bit different, and they look real awesome.
It does look cool. Did we ever have an action figure of Varan?
No, I don't think we did. No.
I would have liked if we did, I think.
Yeah,
I do like how he looks. He looks like a derpy Godzilla with his face.
it's a perfect way to describe it. Derpy Godzilla. Kind of looks like a turtle.
Kind of looks like a turtle. The army ends up coming in after word of Varan is in the area, shooting him up, trying to do a bunch of stuff to kill him.
Yeah, well, I guess they find he's there, right? And then they go back and tell the university.
Yeah.
And then they kind of send like a whole lot of photographers and journalists. But
That's
then
right, yeah.
also,
This is the part almost straight after this where I started getting a little dozy.
still early on in the film. But they send like all these journalists, and then they also on the back of that send the army. Just in case,
An
I guess.
afterthought.
Yeah.
Varan pops up, does his thing, they can't seem to kill him. And he flies away
Yeah, he flies away.
using his gliding wings for the first and only time in this movie.
Comes out from the water, pretty much exactly like Godzilla, flies up in the sky, pretty much exactly like Rodan.
It's weird that he flies once because there's an image of him flying that was used in a lot of the marketing around the movie.
Yeah, I think it's
If
on
you
the
look
poster.
up Varan, it's like the first images of him flying.
Interestingly enough as well, that this is another film that has an Americanization we'll have to watch later on.
Oh my gosh, there is so many of these.
I know. But apparently they removed this scene. Or he doesn't fly at all. You don't see his like winged lizard wings.
Because I know that Varan comes back in
Destroy All Monsters. Yeah.
Does he fly in that movie?
I think so. I can hardly remember
It's
it.
weird that they took that out then.
I know.
Varan flies somewhere else to the ocean somewhere, disappears. The army and the rest of them end up trying to lure him out using depth charges, which we saw in the first movie with Godzilla. And then we get introduced to Dr. Fujimara, the bomb expert,
Yeah.
played by Akihiko Hirata, who you guys
man.
might know as Serizawa.
Yeah. He's probably been in the most so far.
Yeah, we spoke about this after the movie. He's probably, I think we said that he's tied with...
The actor of a lot of these kaiju.
in the last
Which
movie,
is-
Rodan, it's like the actor of the main
Yeah, there's the main guy in Rodan.
Rodan, who showed up as an extra in the first two Godzilla movies.
There's Akihiko. And then there's also the monster suit actor.
Yeah, who shows
Haruo
up in
Nakajima.
all of these movies.
Yeah, so he's leading the charge so far.
Yeah.
But good to see our man, Akihiko Hirata.
Oh, man. Since he's a bomb expert, they all talk about how to defeat Varan. He says that the best way, he's been working on a bomb experiment
Yeah.
used for mining, that if you put a bunch of bombs deep on the inside of a rock formation, you get a very powerful explosion that should blow something up. It doesn't work on the outside, though. so it has to be like deep inside the rocks for this to work.
Yeah.
And they think, hey, it might work with Varan since his outer shell is impenetrable.
Yeah, they say something that their bullets don't do anything to it, and it's as hard as something.
Hard as steel,
substance,
I think.
yeah.
So the only way to kill him is by doing it from the inside. Which they don't really follow because next up, Varan comes back and they have a huge fight scene with real tanks and a bunch of gunmen.
Heaps of planes, heaps of boats.
Which don't really do anything against him.
And wait, let's go back for a second. There was a bomb expert, you said.
Yep.
Comes in later in the movie.
Yes.
Has a secret weapon that he hasn't used or no one else knows about.
Yeah.
Doesn't want the army to use it because it could be too dangerous. It could be used for something that he wouldn't want it used for.
Played by Akihiko Hirata.
He's played by Akihiko Hirata, and he ends up just giving it to them just because, and like almost a snap decision.
Hold up.
Are we talking about Godzilla and Serizawa? It's so funny
It's
how
so
closely
familiar.
the character he plays is.
Dr. Yamane and the actor of him and Akihiko kind of have the same roles in everything they've shown up in.
Yeah, because Yamane showed up in Mysterians, right?
Yeah, without a mustache.
Yeah.
Akihiko showed up in this without an eye patch. With just enough change between them to make him distinct.
They're completely right. It's so funny as well how they have the scene. They're like, okay, this is the weapon we're going to use to destroy him. And then they do not use it until the very, very end of the movie when there's suddenly it's like an afterthought. They're like, wait, we had a weapon that would destroy something from the inside.
Yeah, what is it? It's a 15-minute kind of sequence between the army and Varan.
Yeah.
The leading protege of the three end up taking the bombs.
Yeah.
And Kenji ends up driving a vehicle with all the bombs in.
But I don't think it was like those special bombs made by the bomb expert.
We thought it was, and it kind of sets it up to be.
Yeah.
He drives them underneath Varan while Varan's coming up on land.
Right between the legs. That's where you...
He jumps out and it explodes.
Cheap shot to Varan. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. Smartest decision so far, though.
Hit him where it hurts, you know?
Those end up not being the big bombs.
Yeah.
And then I think it's Dr. Sugimoto ends up saying, hold up. We have these bombs that they're sure to destroy Varan. We have to do them from the inside.
Yep.
They end up figuring out that Varan is attracted to light by some flares that they're dropping.
Yeah, we've seen that same thing with Godzilla. He's attracted to light. We found out in Raids again.
Yep, with all the fire that happened.
Yeah.
They end up attaching Dr. Fujimoto's bombs to some of these flares, shooting them up into the air, and Varan's just eating these flares.
Just chomping down flares. I didn't mind this sequence because it's kind of a new idea, I guess, that you'll try to get a monster to ingest something. We haven't seen it in these movies so far.
So I do like the way that they've set up the kaiju death so far.
Yeah.
Godzilla and a few of the others have just been like, yo, let's try shooting them.
Yeah.
Obviously, until the oxygen destroyer happened.
Yeah.
Godzilla raids again I liked because they ended up covering Godzilla in an avalanche
Yeah.
to defeat him. This is a totally different death idea as well, which is like, yo, nothing else is working. Let's try defeat him from the inside.
Yeah, and even though you're completely right, even Rodan was different enough. Like wasn't the end that defeated them. In the end, it was in a natural volcano, and
they've done a surprising job of making the deaths of these kaiju unique.
Even though the monsters and the story is pretty much a little bit of a similarity, a bit of a copy. That's pretty much it. It kills Varan, eh?
That does lead on to one of the problems I have with this movie and kind of the previous ones as well. All of them so far have seemed almost like the same movie with a slight reskin.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have the doctor, you have the bomb expert, with a slight change of...
You have the lover.
The lover,
they're
the
often
main person
credited.
who comes in because their sibling was killed. Obviously, Akihiko isn't wearing his eye patch in this one. It's just slight things that feel like a reskin.
Yeah.
Which, it's getting a bit old.
It does. It's funny because you can tell that it's pretty much the same structure.
Yeah.
But you can tell that they've tried to slightly just tweak it to make it, I guess they think it's different enough. It's also it's very strange as well because they're all directed by the same guy.
Yeah.
Like you'd think a Shiro would be like, oh, this is too similar. Let's do something different. And he did that for Mysterians, I feel. Like that was...
Mysterians
very
was
different.
the most different.
Yeah.
Which was great.
And this is just... I think I mean, I'll go into it more later, but I think this is probably my least favorite we've watched so far, other than Half Human.
yeah.
Other than Half Human.
That's an.
But it just blows my mind how Ishiro Honda can do things like Godzilla and even Rodan, Mysterians, which I've loved.
Yeah.
And then he also has these other two films where he just seems to do it once, every once in a while. It just isn't as great, or the quality is significantly lower.
I don't know if this is the case, but it definitely feels like. I want to know if he's done any other movies.
He has. So
But it's just like normal movies without kaiju?
Yeah, well, between, like, since we're only covering the main big kaiju ones that kind of link together in some sort of way.
Yeah.
Godzilla and Godzilla Adjacent. It's a Godzilla show, even though we've...
Oh, true. So wait, has he done other kaiju movies that aren't linked?
Yeah, so
Godzilla universe?
he did, there was one that came out, I think, before this, called The H-Man.
Okay.
Which is about, I think, Kaijin, which is a person that's a monster instead of a massive big kaiju. I think it's about kind of like a molecular man who can turn into smoke or change his body.
Okay.
I think it's more of like a mystery.
Yeah.
But he has done things. It'll be interesting once we maybe finish this slew of Godzilla ones, even though we've only watched like a handful of Godzilla movies, all the rest are other monsters. But once we finish the ones we're setting up to do, we might need to come back and actually revisit certain pockets of maybe the same directors or things that tie in at the same time, or it'd be fun to do those at some point.
Yeah, at some point down the road.
It'll be a while away because we've got many.
There's going to be a point where we run out of Godzilla content,
even though
at
we've
least
got
for
heaps.
a little while.
Yeah.
But I feel like since the success of the Godzilla movie, it's been less of Honda kind of feeling like he has these great ideas which he wants to put into film. Kind of like you see filmmakers nowadays doing. Coming up with great script ideas, really having a passion for this work and this movie they want to bring out. It feels like he's riding off the success of Godzilla in that style a lot more.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, the writing's not all done by Ishiro, I'm pretty sure. I think the concepts aren't even done by Ishiro. It's kind of done by the team.
So what does he do? Is he literally just directing?
So he comes in and directs it. And I gotta say, the man knows how to like direct a monster movie.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the shots, even in this, are still pretty good.
Oh yeah, there are definitely times where we're like, dang, that's a real cool
especially
sequence.
of the kaiju, like of Varan, or there's certain places when his head will come out of the water in like a menacing way, or you'll just see the scope and the scale of it.
Yeah.
And it's very impressive when you realize it's just a man walking around on the soundstage, but it looks this big.
Yeah, we said it once when there was like the planes coming down and flying to fight Varan, and you see it from the perspective of the plane coming down and flying around him. It's like, that's new. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, and he definitely knows how to do big, grand monsters, but
he's been typecast as that.
Kind of typecast as it, and the stories aren't necessarily as grand to match, I guess, his vision or what he's trying to do. And it's interesting because nowadays you get a lot of the movies coming out, even though we do have the big like Disney, Marvel ones that are kind of
from the Disney entity.
It's kind of like a committee makes the movie.
Yeah.
A lot of other films, like you get Christopher Nolan and Jordan Peele and a lot of these big directors that do write it, create the story, actually very involved in the production.
Yeah.
They direct the thing.
And you can tell it feels a lot like their movie.
It's their vision.
Edgar Wright would fit into that.
Yeah, Edgar Wright, like it's consistently pretty good.
Yeah.
Whereas it just feels like a different world. And I mean, it's Japanese cinema as well. We don't really know how these kind of movies come to be.
Yeah.
But it does just feel different. And it's a bit disappointing. But
yeah.
But we've got a lot of movies to do. So
I'm sure these comments will come up along the road. Anyway.
Yeah. And
at least for the little while, I hope there's a point where we can be like, all of these movies are consecutively, consistently different.
Yeah.
And exciting and fresh.
And it might be like, I love Ishiro Honda.
Oh, for sure.
First Godzilla movie is probably one of my favorite like horrors, monster movies,
full
stop. But it will be interesting when we get into more and more new directors. Like we already had one, Full Raids Again, and even though I don't think that was the best movie, it did kind of have a different feel to it.
It felt different enough to be real enjoyable.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to what's happening, and I'm also looking forward to seeing more of Ishiro Honda. Like it's
I want to see if he starts changing his direction and being a bit more bold with his ideas.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Before we go any further, did you have a favorite human character from Varan?
Let me think.
Mine was probably Motohiko Horiguchi, I think his name was.
It's spelled Horiguchi, but you're probably right.
Yeah.
He's the comedic relief photographer.
Comedic relief, he's the photographer, he kind of bumbles his way through, and he has some funny jokes. Like, there's a few moments when he's like, I don't know, it's set up and he's trying to be really strong and brave in front of these other journalists and make them believe like he knows what he's doing. He's not terrified of Varan, and then he'll just be made a fool of, and then he gets freaked out. But there's a few good setups, a few good jokes.
There's a few good jokes, not even by him, but like there are times when the camera will directly cut to a group of humans for like a half a minute while they're doing a specific joke, which is nice to see. It's funny. I don't. Again, this movie's probably has characters that are too bland for me to pick a favorite, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd probably pick Horiguchi as well, though. Horiguchi.
Yeah.
He has the most character out of these characters.
Yeah, that's it. And I am just disappointed because when it did set them up as a trio to begin with, they were kind of cool enough characters that if they put more time and effort, I feel, into showing us just moments with them, it could have made it quite unique. That we're following these three throughout all these massive weird experiences.
But after the first battle with Varan, it kind of forgets about them.
It forgets about them. It becomes a lot more of again, you get planes, boats, tanks.
Kaiju.
Yeah. Did you have a favourite kaiju from this movie?
Maybe.
Varan, the prehistoric Varanopode? I think his species was a Varanopode, they said.
It talks about how a species of Varanopode, which lived back a long ago in the Jurassic period.
Yeah, but there's also, there's the prehistoric butterflies.
There's the butterflies.
That return as well.
Nah, Varan.
It was all right. He did feel like an amalgamation of all these.
His spikes were cool.
Here's what Varan sounded like.
Now that sounds a lot like Godzilla.
It does, yeah.
Throughout this movie, almost consistently every time he did his kaiju shout, I'm like, I feel like that's Godzilla, but just slightly modified.
It's a kaiju shout. It's like he's the dragonborn.
Is there a term for it?
I think it's just a roar, right?
Roar, that's a better word for it.
Mogira didn't really have a roar in the Mysterians, but yeah, there's
the kaiju roar.
The kaiju roar. The Biweekly Kaiju Roar with Podzilla.
Hold up, everybody. It's time grab your drinks. It's time for the Biweekly Kaiju Roar with your hosts, Jasha and Micah Drake.
Kaiju Roar of the week. Oh, no. Okay. I really liked the start of the movie. Probably like the first 20 minutes or so when the trio goes into the jungle to kind of figure out where these butterflies are coming from, to figure out how these other two men disappeared or died, didn't return.
Yeah, interacting with the tribe.
Yeah, and it's pretty creepy. Like, there's a moment when they get into...
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They get into the village, I guess, and they're like in the middle of a ceremony. The villagers, they're all wearing the masks, they're all chanting.
Before the movie started, you were like, what's the bet that they're going to have, like, some people sing in this movie?
Yeah.
This happened in the
It's
past.
Almost a Godzilla trope at this point that there's random singing that pops up.
Yeah.
But it happened, and they're chanting. It's quite intense. They're wearing scary, menacing masks.
The three come up behind them, and the music just literally cuts out straight away.
And everyone just turns around in their masks and faces them. And it was my favourite part of the movie.
It's a great moment.
It was like funny. It was also pretty scary.
It was legitimately pretty freaky.
Yeah, and it's new as well. Like, we haven't seen cults or, I guess, things like this yet. People in masks. Like, I know that we do get things like, I think there's a group of people that worship Mothra later down the track, potentially.
I think there is too, yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But it was unique and it was new, and none of the rest of the movie isn't like that at all.
Yeah, their first quarter or third, because they then go on, like one of the tribal children end up running into the jungle.
Yeah, he chases his dog, Chibi.
That's right, Chibi!
Chibi runs away.
But no, they have like a good 10-15 minute adventure where they're trying to chase after him. Yuriko's kind of running after him as well and gets lost in the jungle, which a layer of fog ends up descending on them. They get lost and separated for ages. The other two male leads end up like rallying the tribe together, being like, you do not need to be afraid of Baradagi anymore.
He's not going to eat you up. You don't need to worry about it. Follow us. Let's find this boy.
They get the whole tribe to come along. And it's just fun. I kind of wish that these movies had more moments where it feels like there's a lot more focus on the human characters. it feels a bit more separate from the actual monster.
It doesn't, like, I want just random people thrown into these situations that they're just it's
crazy
completely new for them.
situations.
And it just seems like it's familiar for the people involved, even though it isn't story-wise. It just feels like they know exactly how to react, and they react the same way every time. But I really like the start.
Agreed. After that point, it kind of devolves into, military.
Yeah, the clips of the planes repeating, that was classic. They set up like an anti-Varan headquarters, I think it was called.
Oh, that's right,
It's pretty funny. They just, next minute, the monster's out there, they're on it. Anti-Varan, we'll settle up.
Do you think that if a kaiju or a monster actually happened in real life, they would for sure create like an anti-kaiju task force?
Yeah, I feel like more countries, you'd hope that more countries will get involved though. Like if everyone heard right now there's a giant monster attacking Japan, it seems like in these movies, Japan's just like, okay, we need to create our own force. It's just this country. No one else is going to help us.
I'd wonder how that'd go down, because so many other countries would come to help.
Yeah.
And I'd hope, like in the first Godzilla, it'd be something that ends up banding a bunch, or Rodan as well, ends up banding a bunch of these countries and civilizations together.
And I guess that was kind of like Ashira Honda's message in The Mysterians, right? About like all the forces of Earth, all the countries coming together to stop alien invaders. You'd hope, and I'd think that's what would happen.
I hope it wouldn't descend into something like Russia or this other country will not help you unless you do something for them. It could end up being like this crazy bidding war between people negotiating, you do this for me and then we'll help you with this kaiju.
The US wants to capture the kaiju and use it for themselves. It's just...
I'd love to see that as a movie. I'd legitimately love to see that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I found it, I wrote it down here just when Akihiko Arata's character, Dr. Fujimura, is kind of thinking about, should I give them this bomb or not?
Yeah.
I think he's literally, the phrase is like, I'd rather not give it to you. And then someone says something to him and he's just like, okay, let's do it. Like, it's like 5 seconds and he just completely goes from, no, I'm not going to give it to you, to just 100% on board.
That's the... He's decisive if you can give him anything else.
Yeah. I had high hopes after that first part, but they quickly got dashed as the movie went on and on.
Yeah.
I have some little tidbits of trivia.
Oh.
Should we go into that?
The fine cuisine prepared for us on a silver platter.
Yeah. So, Varan was originally planned as a Japanese and American co-production.
Oh, we haven't seen that before, have we?
No, and it was going to be made solely for American television.
So, because this movie itself, did you say it was a television release?
No. So it was going to be made for, I guess, kaiju movies were popping off. People were loving them.
Yeah.
And we'd already had the American release of King of the Monsters.
Yep.
And I guess people in America, filmmakers, producers, realized that it's something that could sell.
Mm-hmm.
So they got Ashira Honda to sign up. Some American film production company partnered with Toho. They were going to get Ashira Honda to make a monster movie just for American television. It was going to be a big thing. And financing didn't happen in the end.
Why not?
So the American company went bankrupt.
Oh no!
During production. And this is why it was filmed in black and white as well, because we'd have Rodan and Mysterians in color.
Yeah, and it's weird that this goes back to being in black and white.
Yeah, so I don't know why, but apparently being made for American television, going to be kind of smaller budget than these other movies had been, and I guess black and white, color was expensive to film in that time.
Yeah.
They just decided to go black and white, but the American company went bankrupt, and Toho ended up filming it anyway without the American company, and a 2-part TV movie was still completed.
2 parts.
2-part TV movie for Varan, which is strange.
So did we watch both the parts smush together?
Smush together?
Smush together?
No, so it was still completed, 2 parts.
Okay.
Probably going to be released on TV. But the 2 parts ended up being edited into a single longer feature, and it was chosen to be released in Japanese theatres. They also extended and re-recorded the musical score for it to be a whole movie, and they shortened some scenes and added in some new scenes. But interesting, and it's the first time we've had this kind of what was going to be or started off being this Japanese-American co-production.
Do you think that the film footage would still be out there? Because I think what could have happened, this is complete speculation, by the way. Do not quote me on any of this.
Yeah.
What might have happened is that that starting kind of quarter third with the three investigators, reporters, finding Varan, that could have been like half of one of the parts on its own.
It feels like it. Or even just after that, when they return with all the journalists and then you finally see Varan appear out of the water and then fly off.
It felt like that could have been a good point to cut it. Could there have been like more scenes of them traversing the jungle, doing fun adventures?
Because it might have hit a bit differently if you did have that whole first. You turned on your TV. The only part you watch is just these three journalists heading into the jungle, finding this weird tribe, finding this massive monster. That's it.
Yeah, you only see Varan at the
Tune in next week, and it's a complete kind of its separate thing that's connected.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting, right?
I would have loved that.
Yeah, it would have been interesting. During filming as well, the monster suit actor Haruo Nakajima, he's the absolute legend at this point. He's always in these movies. He was injured by an explosives mishap.
Oh, wait, did they use... Oh, for some reason I didn't think they would have used real explosives.
They probably didn't use they probably just used, I don't know what they do, but they do use some form of small things that...
they would have to.
Explode, a little bit of pyrotechnics. But it's funny because he was injured as well in Rodan, I think, when he fell down off the bridge. So he's injured in this again, and he was replaced by the remainder of the shoot with Katsumi Tezuka. So I think we have mentioned him before, but he was also one of the Godzilla actors in the original. He was Anguirus in Godzilla Raids Again. Yeah. He was part of the Mega Nulons in Rodan, which I don't think I mentioned.
No.
There were a couple of the actors for the Mega Nulons. There was Katsumi, who did the legs, and a few other people did different parts of it. In the Mysterians, he was also a second actor for Mogira.
Yep.
And in this, he ended up being a second actor for Varan, taking over.
Nice.
So
he's getting a bit more into his own there.
So he might even be toe-to-toe. The suit actors are beating the normal actors, and it's cool how they kind of staying with the franchise as it goes on.
Yeah.
Ashiro goes off, is not even here for Raids Again, and these guys still remain.
Come back for like Half Human.
Yeah.
Did Honda do Half Human?
Yes, he did. I'm not sure who was a suit actor. We'll have to look into that, maybe for the next episode.
No. Oh, I want to know that now, because obviously with Godzilla and Anguirus, you had to have two actors because they're different. Yeah. Half Human and the Little Half Human.
Yeah.
I want to know who plays the Little Half Human.
Might have to... I'll research it for the Americanization, shall we?
Yeah.
Funnily enough, since the movie's been released, Varan, Ashiro Honda has publicly stated that he doesn't like the film. He doesn't look fondly upon it. And he's quoted as saying, "This is not a work I am happy with. I wish we could have restarted from the beginning. Scenes such as those with the self-defense forces might have been a bit more grand. Everything was pretty much shot on a small set with a tiny bit of location filming. The entire film would have turned out a little better." So it sounds like he's wanting it to be a bit more grand, to look a bit better, not have the repetitive shots, I feel.
That's sad. That might have actually been what would have happened if they ended up going through with the American company.
Yeah. And it's interesting coming off back of Mysterians, which he said is his favorite work to this, which is, he doesn't like it. Couple more trivia bits here. Nothing super cool. It's just bits about Varan's costume. The scales on his back were made using pressed peanut shells.
Pressed? Oh, for a second there I thought that was a brand.
Pressed peanut shells. The favorite company, Pressed.
The snack you all know and love, Pressed.
Pressed.
Like P-R-E-S-T.
Oh, yeah. No, P-R-E-S-S-E-D. Peanut shells.
Oh, that's interesting.
I need to have a closer look at his back now that I know that. That's funny.
Bring out the magnifying glass.
Yeah. And despite many stills of this film and the poster and behind-the-scene footage colouring him green, the few real-life colour stills of the suit on set showed that it was brown in colour.
So they did some colour correcting for the promotional material.
Yeah, there was some colour stills properly taken. He's brown. And then there was coloured-in photographs and promotions that he showed him green. But yeah, it was the Varan suit's a chocolate sepia colour.
Is that like word for word what you found it written up?
Yeah, that's what someone describes it as, one of the creators of the suit.
They have a way with words.
Yeah, nice chocolate sepia colour Varan.
What did you think of the actual acting of Varan in this?
I didn't mind him.
Yeah?
Even though it's very Godzilla-esque, I feel like he was different enough, potentially.
Yeah.
He did have a bit of a quirkiness to him, especially when he's gobbling up those flares, and he's able to do a lot more. He gets a few more opportunities than I feel the other kaiju did, just to
Show off
his stuff, do a few
moves.
cool tail whacks and headbutting a few buildings. Yeah, what did you think?
Yeah. Like you said, different enough, which is what I feel they've been doing with these movies.
Yeah.
They're different enough.
Yeah.
He's got the same problem with Anguirus sometimes, where you can see like the actors going on their knees, walking around.
Yeah.
But he's kind of cool. He's in some scenes he's on his knees, some he's in the air flying, some he's standing up, some he's in the water. It's a good variation there.
Yeah. Well, what did you think of the movie overall? What are your final thoughts? And how many Baradagi masks out of 5 would you give this film? Baradagi masks.
I know for a fact that you literally just came up with it in the past 5 minutes.
All of these rating systems are off the cuff.
I think you could have done flares.
No, Baradagi masks. They're cool. They look great.
Butterflies you could have done.
Baradagi masks. Were you not impressed by the Baradagi masks? They were menacing. They got the best moment of the film to shine.
They did. I would probably... simply because this movie feels like the others, is different enough, I found it enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's not something I'd jump at the chance to see. I think I'd give it a 2.5.
2.5?
I might have given other ones that as well, but it hasn't gotten yet to the point where, I'm dreading watching these because I know they're going to be so similar.
Yeah.
This one's different enough to be still enjoyable.
Different enough. That's the main thing to take away.
And yours is like 5 stars, isn't it?
5 stars.
Sorry, 5
Baradagi masks, man. No, I think I'll end up giving this one 2 Baradagi masks out of 5.
Is that the lowest so far?
Except for Half Human.
What was that?
But I think it was like 1, whatever we rated that one.
Yeah.
But I even enjoyed this, I think, a bit less than I did King of the Monsters, the Americanization of Godzilla.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, I loved the start, but then everything just got so samey, and it is starting to feel old now.
Yeah.
So I do hope that something changes. It just feels very repetitive, doesn't feel inspired.
Yeah.
And there's 1 or 2 moments that I like, comedic moments I laughed at, 1 or 2 moments I thought the monster looked cool, or the fighting was great, but even like the city destruction, very minimal and repetitive.
He doesn't actually get to the city at any point.
No,
I don't think.
And the miniature work I didn't feel was as good as with stuff we've seen before.
No.
The characters, some of the worst, worst
The
written.
blandest, yeah.
It's just, it was pretty disappointing at the end. It was pretty disappointing. So I'll probably give it 2 out of 5.
Baradagi masks. We've been rating these movies as well, not just on their own. Like if you got a friend and said, "Yo, watch this movie, tell me what you think," they might think it's higher or lower. But we're watching these as part from the start of the whole Godzilla franchise.
Yeah.
So we are comparing these to the ones
To each other.
This is below them.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like all these movies we've covered, like I enjoy to a point. Like I don't hate this movie. Like I could chuck it on. I'd be a fan of the style of it. Like it's a monster movie.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. I dig that kind of cinema. And I mean, we're both fans of Godzilla. That's why we're doing this. But it is, it's just not as great as any of the other stuff.
No.
It's not as great as
Honda. I'm sorry, dude. You got to step it up.
Yeah, he's got what's he got? He's got 3 for 2, 3 wins, 2 losses so far.
Oh, I thought you mean 3 out of 2. 3 out of the 2 movies were good.
Ashiro Honda. No.
How many Baradagi masks did you give Ashiro Honda?
Oh, is that what we're gonna get to a point where we're ranking directors and monsters? We'll see what happens.
Can you wait for our episode down the end where we're ranking the ranking systems?
Yeah. What was our best ranking? But thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Thanks for if you watched along with us. It's real cool to know that some people out there are kind of watching a lot of these old movies that people have forgotten about.
And we have talked with some of you fans who have been listening along and watching these along. It's been really cool chatting with you and being a part of this and having you guys along for the ride.
Yeah, and again, I'll just shout out our Discord because I would love to do more of that. I think we would love to, if you guys had, we'd love to hear how many Baradagi masks you would give it out of 5.
Yeah.
Would love to hear what your thoughts were.
It'd be genuinely sick. Where would they be able to find that?
So you can find the Discord link in the show notes.
Nice.
Wherever you're listening to us on, there should be a section to open up the show notes and you'll find us there. And if you head to our socials, we're on Instagram and Twitter as Podzilla Pod.
Facebook.
And Facebook, yeah, we're just search for us. And I think in our bios there, or as our website there's a link to all the places. So just track us down.
Good stuff. Before we finish, I don't know if you have anything else to say. What are we watching next?
Are you ready for this?
Yes. Hold up.
We're going to do a first time in Podzilla history episode. We're going to watch 2 movies and cover them both in a single episode.
Yeah. The reason we're doing that is because...
It's because the next 2 movies are Americanizations of films we've already covered.
Nice.
So we're going to be watching the Americanization of Half Human.
Oh, yay.
Which
hopefully,
we're really looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to it. Maybe it redeems it.
Maybe. And it was released in the US as Half Human, the story of the abominable snowman. So a bit of a subtitle.
Nice.
And we're also going to be watching Gigantus the Fire Monster, which was the Americanization of Godzilla Raids Again.
And I imagine Gigantus is Anguirus, who
Or-
didn't breathe fire.
Or
in the
Godzilla?
movie? Maybe.
Even though he was already released as Godzilla?
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, those are the 2 we're going to be covering. We thought we'd just put them together. Again, it might be a bit shorter of a discussion. We'll see. We're covering both of them.
We'll see.
But yeah, if you want to watch along, Half Human, the story of the abominable snowman, and Gigantus the Fire Monster, the
Are they on
US
archive.org?
organizations. Pretty sure they're on Archive.
Yeah.
That's been our go-to place for all these. It's
great.
Pretty great. I think Toho themselves has released a lot of them there. They're not the best quality, but kind of gets you in the
They're
mood.
enjoyable.
Yeah, they're enjoyable to watch. Yeah, that's us, everyone.
That's us for the Biweekly Podzilla podcast.
The Biweekly Godzilla podcast. Biweekly Kaiju Roars.
Can't wait for next bye weeks.
No, the next bi.
Come back next week for our next. No, hold up.
Come back in a bi-week? Come back in a fortnight for our next bi-weekly Kaiju Roar, guys. We'll see you then.
See you in a bye week. You've been listening to Podzilla with your hosts, Jasha and Micah Drake. Be sure to follow our socials, join our Discord, and check out Cassie Celine, who did our amazing podcast art. The links are all in our show notes. And just a disclaimer that any musical sound effects used in this episode belong entirely to the Toho Company. See you in 2 weeks.